Right now, I'm in the Tibetan city of Shigatse outside the People's Hospital at an altitude of about 3,800 meters. Now, I've been to high altitude places in China before, but this is my first time to Tibet, and so far I've got the feeling that the pace of life here is perhaps a little bit slower, maybe because the altitude is so high. But why have I come to Tibet and why have I come to this hospital? Well, the reason is a phrase in Chinese. It's called yuanzang, basically meaning to help or to promote Tibet. And so what happens is various cities around the country, namely Beijing, Shanghai, and I think places in Jiangsu, will help certain jurisdictions of Tibet. Now, Shanghai is twinned with this city of Shigatse. So Shanghai is helping in this city of Tibet, Shigatse. And this hospital behind me has been built with Shanghai money. And a lot of the doctors inside are from Shanghai. So what I want to do, perhaps over the next few days, is go in and understand a little bit more about how this works and what exactly the Shanghai doctors are doing. My name is Toby. This is Shigatse in Tibet. Let's understand the world of Tibet. Let's go. Below are people queuing up to get a doctor's appointment, and I'm just standing outside the orthopedic section here. It's also where they conduct surgeries. This as well is a part of modern Tibet, a part that's obviously very, very important. Hospitals bring modern healthcare, modern procedures, and very knowledgeable doctors, not just from Tibet, but also, as I've said, from Shanghai. A lot of people in the past in Tibet, they wouldn't necessarily go straight to a doctor. They would go almost a little bit to like a shaman in a way, not quite a witch doctor, but something quite similar. And if that didn't work, then of course the temple, the monks, and of course to Buddha as well, they would hope that would help their ailments. Finally, they might come to hospitals, but of course modern hospitals like this have only been brought in the last few years, and they're doing rather well, and it's great for the local population to have this option. Previously, they would have to go off to Lhasa or even down to Chengdu in Sichuan, the Huaxi hospital there. Now, with this modern hospital on their doorstep, they can literally see doctors in minutes. Walk across, get your ticket appointment, see a doctor, and up and see this wonderful modern hospital with modern doctors and modern equipment. I'm interested to know how the expenses of this hospital in terms of the fees and the payments the patients need to make. Across China, there is a social security system. You pay in, like in most countries, when you work, or it's taken off your salary, and you can use that money against going to the hospital or doctors. But I think in certain parts of this country there are subsidies. So I'm going to try and find out a little bit more about the payment schemes of hospitals in Tibet.
你感觉这个医院怎么样？
目前还可以，
目前可以，
待了5、6天。
待了5、6天。你在这个看病是费用怎么算呢？
现在还没有结清，到后面最后出院的时候，然后结清。
社保吗？
对，有，
挺好的。谢谢你。Just spent some time in the doctor's surgery, watching him, seeing patients, and it's been really, really fascinating. One, I now understand a little bit more about what Shanghai, the city of Shanghai, is doing to help this city of Shigatse in terms of providing doctors, but also providing cash money. Pretty much most of the people coming to see the doctor, and certainly those doing surgery, don't have to pay a penny. 90% is covered by the sort of national insurance, the medical insurance. That's higher than a lot of places in China, but of course this being Tibet, they've got a lot of subsidies. And the extra 10%, the final 10%, is covered by the sort of Shanghai Municipal Fund just for this area. So that's the relationship they have. So it's really excellent in terms of paying for the operations that you might need. Another thing I learned was that this place, Tibet, and this city and the neighbouring towns, there's a lot of sort of local medicine. So, for example, a lot of the people we saw who have knee problems, they have almost sort of burns on their knees. Literally, they've been burnt and some sort of Tibetan medicine has been applied. Now, the doctor, a very professional man, said he didn't want to comment on the legitimacy or how effective those treatments are, but he recommended people don't do them. It's easy to get infected and so on. But he didn't say that sort of directly, he said that in sort of indirect way. So not only are you combating these sort of regular problems that people all around the world have, there's knee issues, but remember a lot of the people living and working around here are working on the fields, are herding yaks and so on. It's hard physical labour. And of course, because of the religion here, the bending down, literally the bending down, the praying puts a lot of stress on their knees as well. So yeah, there's a lot of patients to be seen. Doctor is very, very busy, but certainly now I've got a better understanding of how it all works. We travelled out with Dr. Jai to a local village about 2 hours away from Shigatse, where he performed a local clinic. This is a fantastic example of a traditional Tibetan home, and again, one of the most important rooms in the home. Every Tibetan home has pictures of lamas, the 10th or the 11th Panchen Lama, and this is a fairly typical Tibetan home on the ground floor. I'm hopefully going to take a bit of a tour, but the elder generation live just on these sort of couches here. Why? Because this is one of the warmest rooms in the home. You've got the stove here, and of course in the depths of winter it's kept running pretty much all day long. The younger people tend to live upstairs. Oh, and yes, in Tibet, of course they have modern TVs as well. Why wouldn't you? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is lovely. It's the people here are so friendly. I know I see that in pretty much all my videos. Their lives compared to my lives and many people's lives around the world, really quite tough. Herding yaks, agricultural lives really, you know, farming the land. Some of these people are 60 years old, but they look a lot older. You do if you're working the land every day and if you're in the sun every day. But they all got a smile on their face, including this lady here. Really quite incredible. I find it absolutely amazing. So you thought this was out of sort of, I don't know, 1800s Manchester. But no, here in Tibet, they're literally making their own clothes and their own bedding for winter. It's done here often from lamb's wool or sheep wool. This room is sort of the communal room inside, as we've already filmed. It's the most important room. That, of course, is where the cooking is done and where it's very hot. That's why the grandmother and the older people and sometimes grandchildren sleep in there. Then the young people tend to sleep upstairs. Something I just heard, though, which has absolutely amazed me, but I think I'd heard about this before. The lady I was just talking to before has 2 husbands. Yeah, and it sort of shocked me. Didn't shock anybody else. Then I thought about it. Apparently, remote areas, these things happen. Not enough women to go around. 谢谢，谢谢奶奶。谢谢。Bye bye, 再见, bye bye. I'm now in the changing room section for surgery. So this is where everyone changes their shoes, their clothes and so on and so forth. I've got sort of surgical Crocs on, like you see on TV. We're about to change and go into surgery. Right, I've been told to take off my neckerchief just in case. It's very strict here, but as it should be, because of course, if we contaminate any of the equipment or the patient themselves, well, that becomes a very, very big problem. So yeah, safety first. Another day, another operation. I'm going to try and block off anything you guys shouldn't see, but I'm currently in here in the operating theatre. They're about to start the operation. So this woman's got kidney stones, really quite big kidney stones. They've got to be taken out. This is all part of the support to help Tibet. So the main doctor, Dr. Wang, is from Shanghai. He's stationed here for a year. Part of his job is not only to do these operations, to help people with the operations, to see patients, but also to teach the local doctors, improve the quality of the local care. And that's what he's doing right now. Interestingly enough, he's originally from Sichuan, where I spend most of my time. Very, very happy to see him work. So out of the operating theatre, all of the rooms are behind me. I've been in there the whole day. I'm very happy to be back in my own clothes. It's a really intense experience. I have a lot of admiration for surgeons now. I suppose I always did. You can see people are waiting here. It's incredible work the doctors do. I have incredible admiration for the surgeons, for the doctors, and I think the local people here in Tibet know of the work that Shanghai and other people and other places are doing here. It took me I didn't know about this Yuanzhou. I didn't know about the help that Shanghai was giving to Tibet. Now I do know. It's incredible and it's very important work they have raised, not just in the medical field, but it's the work that Shanghai, the city of Shanghai, is doing here in Tibet, in Shigatse, in this Shigatse, this city, isn't just to do with medicine. That's one part of it, but also infrastructure, everything, education. And so, yeah, incredible work they did here. 10 years ago, there was one main road in this city, one main road. Now they have these brand new modern hospitals. They have KFC and McDonald's and pizza. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but it's a real modern city. And a lot of it, of course, the local people have done a lot, but the city of Shanghai and the people that have come here over the last 10, 20, 30 years from Shanghai and other places to help this city have done incredible work. So a big thumbs up to them. Well done, and may the good work continue. This is really quite fun. Can you see that sort of robot moving in that direction? What that is, in fact, we're in the hospital still, of course, and the pharmacy of the hospital is downstairs on the ground floor. And when the patients need medicine, as patients often do need medicine, the nurses, the doctors, they put the order in for the medicine. Medicine gets put into this sort of robot, and then it comes up here to this floor next to a nurse's station or behind where the doctors are. And there's got basically the prescription and the medicine they need. The nurses or the doctors take out the medicine and give it to the patient, saving a lot of time and a lot of energy for doctors and nurses that previously had to go downstairs, come up, and this whole palaver. There you go. Modern China here at the Shigatse People's Hospital. Incredible. Really are moving in the right direction. I think overall, over the last few days being in this hospital, in a way, it doesn't really matter that it's Tibet, but in a way, it's really, really important that it's Tibet because it goes to show, in this case, Shanghai, but cities from all over the interior of China, how much money, how much investment, how much time they're putting in to pull up Tibet, to pull up these cities, to make sure the education, to make sure the infrastructure, and in this case, to make sure the medicine and the hospitals and the doctor and the level of the doctors' professionalism is up to scratch with the interior of China, your Shanghai's, your Beijing's, your Jiangsu, really high quality medicine. Previously in years gone by, there was that lacking in between those cities and internationally, but now, for most places in China, you've really got a high standard of care. Of course, there's room for improvement, there always is, but there's a high standard of care, and what they're doing here in Tibet is really, really excellent. This city 10 years ago had one main road. Now it has really, really great hospitals, great infrastructure, great schools, and it's improving and getting better every day. Guys, this is me, Toby, in Tibet, in the People's Hospital of Shigatse. If you have enjoyed this video or found it interesting anyway, please do like and please do subscribe to the video to get more videos in the future. But for me, Toby, here in China, bye-bye. I don't know how to say bye-bye in Tibetan. I don't know how to say thank you in Tibetan, which is also, I think, really, really important. Bye-bye. 再见. Bye-bye.